Okay, Mark and Grace, Noble Notary. Today, what is an e-closing, Grace?
All right, so an e-closing is an electronic closing. Now, a lot of people think remote online notary closing, which can also be an e-closing as well, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But a lot of these are also hybrid closings. So I'm not sure if you've ever done a hybrid closing, but you've got a portion that is paper and then a portion that is electronic.
Now, for the notaries, we're going to talk about this from the point of the person getting an e-closing done and from the notary. So for the notaries, you don't necessarily have to be a RON or an online notary to participate in those hybrid closings, because usually they've pre-signed the paperwork and you're bringing what's left. Or in the case of like Amrock, you bring a laptop or a tablet even. Yeah. Technically you can do it on your phone, sometimes except the screen's a little small. So with Amrock, you don't have to be an online notary. You can go bring that. They can sign the stuff right there in front of you if they didn't pre-sign it, and then you sign the remainder paperwork, which makes them really quick and easy to do.
They're very, very nice, and it's well noted that those are a little bit more pricier because of the convenience, but you're also, as a notary, getting paid. You're compensated well for those too. There's always a higher price point for those and easier, so that's cool.
Right. Now, fully online, remote online closing, those are actually going to be pricier than just a mobile notary coming out. The reason is because of platform fees, logistics, and I'm going to tell you the truth. So if you're the customer and you're like, I need to do an e-closing because I'm out of the country or I'm here or there, got to have a good internet connection, and these platforms that we use aren't very user friendly, and most people, not to come across as rude or anything, but most people aren't as tech savvy as they think. And the other
session can be a little bit longer
and stressful,
than a normal sit down with your client. So,
and now for our notaries that we're hiring to do this for you, whether you're somebody doing an e-closing or you're a title company, they have to pre-tag all this stuff when we're just handing them package. The Amrock, fortunately, pre-tags everything, but so we have to pay that notary to pre-tag all that stuff. Plus, we have to pay their usage fee on the platform. So that's why these tend to come in a little higher priced. But again, the convenience is there because you can be in China and still have it done. Now there's logistics, right? So when we say when we get somebody calls us and says, "Hey, we've got an e-closing," are they in the United States or are they out of the United States? Because that matters. Do they have a United States ID or do they have another country's ID? Because that matters. So those things are all factors we have to consider into pricing those out. And so that's what we do, is we source the appropriate notary. Oftentimes ourselves, we're not doing them. We'll sit in as a witness because oftentimes those documents need an additional witness. And we will sit in on the session, make sure the notary's doing everything right, and witness any part that needs a witness signature. So that is e-closings in a nutshell. Convenient, but also there's a bit of a price to pay on that in terms of the platforms are all clunky. They still
sometimes a little nuanced.
Right, they're not an exact science, but nevertheless it can be done. That is an e-closing. By and far, I prefer doing hybrids myself.
Yes.
So that's it. So notaries, if you're wanting to do these, just if you're wanting to do full ones, you're going to want to get an online notary commission, and if you're going to have to source a platform that's going to be compatible for what you're going to get. I would say 50% of the time we're seeing these, they're completely out of the country.
Yeah.
So a platform like Notarize, I don't believe is compatible with out of the country.
You have to do your diligence and find out, if that's you're going to expand that way and offer a service where you're doing out of country. Make sure you're with those right platforms.
And the other thing is sometimes the law firm or whatever, they may request a specific platform, which I don't entirely agree with, but we've had ones that say Blue Notary. Personally, I hate Blue Notary,
we were burned by Blue Notary.
So I'm not a fan of Blue Notary, but I do have notaries in our database that are on Blue Notary, so we can, of course, facilitate that.
So we source that. Us as a signing service, we facilitate specifically what the need is for the end client, and as hiring notaries, we do the same thing. We kind of, we send out specifics of what we need, and you guys always come through, so thank you for that.
And that's it for today. There's e-closings. If you need one, reach out to us. If you're a notary and you do them, get on our network for sure. And that's it for today. We'll see you on the next one.